Does the Club of Rome want a world police force? You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. In an earlier episode, we explored the origin of the Club of Rome, as well as its publications and the allegations against it. The group's most popular work, The Limits to Growth, was written by MIT researchers and published in 1972. The thesis is that humanity's growth is unsustainable and that without drastic changes, civilization may collapse. The book also contains specific predictions. For example, that the world of 1972 had only 550 billion barrels of oil. Originally, they predicted that the world would reach peak oil within the decade. Yet by 1990, this prediction was incorrect, and the world's unexploited reserves totaled about 900 billion barrels, not counting shale tar. So it seems that, like many other dire predictions, the club's guesses were incorrect. But this isn't the only set of guesses they've made. In fact, their critics maintain, they've been busy making more than new predictions. They're building a police force that answers to no one. Here's where it gets crazy. The Club of Rome's 2012 publication, The Count Up to 2052, and overarching framework for action, really does call for worldwide environmental supervision, specifically for supranational institutions to help nations adopt policy that will help our grandchildren. According to the report, these institutions would be beyond the day-to-day control of national parliaments and voters. The idea here is that global ecological authorities would prevent countries from practicing what they call short-termism, making decisions with short-term benefits but long-term consequences. For those who already believe the club is up to no good, the proposal of a global authority is prime evidence that something nefarious is afoot. While the Club of Rome still shies away from the term prediction, they do make some specific guesses. For example, that the average global temperature will rise by over 2 degrees, that CO2 emissions will peak in 2030, and that the birth rate will peak in 2040. The authors also predict that global GDP will slow and that Asia will become the world's premier economic engine. They don't, however, mention the same disastrous scenarios as those found in the 1972 book. The club's critics aren't swayed by these changes. Instead, they see an increasingly blatant move to erode state sovereignty and create a new world order. It should be noted that many of the club's critics are also climate change skeptics and likely predisposed to distrust any organization citing environmental concerns for sweeping changes. It all ultimately comes down to a single issue. How much should you trust the Club of Rome? Are they, as they say, an informal group concerned with saving humanity and the planet? Or is their end goal something else? Something they don't want you to know?
Did you hear about the Club of Rome? No. They secretly meet deep down in the medieval dungeons. Their identity is hidden behind black rooms. They protect secrets. On Earth, natural resources are limited. Elvis, are you lonesome tonight?